Today was kind of the perfect grand finale to my anesthesia rotation. For starters, the first thing that happened today was while I was changing in the locker room, getting ready to go into the OR, one of the attendings that I've worked with very closely also came in. So then while we were both changing next to each other, I asked him for a letter of recommendation and he said yes. Then I get to my first case and I'm with an attending that I don't really work with that much, but we walk in together and then we're prepping for the patient to come in and he literally just goes straight to a seat and sits down and goes, "Show me what you can do." I'm like, oh man. So I start like prepping the airway stuff. I pull out the vials and I kind of leave everything out, kind of what I do to prep for him. And then he goes, "Well, what meds are you gonna draw?" So then I say like propofol and rocuronium. He goes, "Okay, good, draw them." So this man literally has me go onto the computer and onto the secured drug space and draw them for him, which is insane because he had to put like his fingerprint for me, but obviously he was watching me do that, so it worked. I draw all the meds and then the patient rolls in. I help the patient move over to the bed. He's still sitting in the chair, and whenever I'm doing something that he doesn't necessarily like or agree with, he'll kind of point and be like, "That instead." That's how it is for the entire case. So I move the patient over, I connect all their monitors, I administer the propofol and the rocuronium and the pain meds and everything. Then I'm bagging the patient on my own. Then I intubate the patient. He's still not getting up, but I had a hard time taping, but he's instructing me verbally and watching, like turning around to see around my body, still in his seat, and telling me like, "Okay, wrap it." I finish everything up. I click the ventilator over, I finish taping the patient, we're draping, I clip everything up, and he's still sitting. And then when I finish everything, he sits down with me and he kind of just starts talking beginning to end. What are all the procedural steps for anesthesia from very beginning all the way to the end? And he asks me periodically, "Do you have any questions? And do you know why we do this, this, and this?" Talking to me about different things to consider because some of our patients have different health conditions as well. So then he's telling me like, "This is what you should consider in this patient, this is what you should consider in this patient." And then we get to the end of the case before I know it. And then he goes, "Okay, time to do it." And I go and I turn off the gas and then I suction the mouth. And then he has me check, like make sure that they're breathing before you do anything. So then I'm like, yes, they're breathing on their own because I see the waveforms and I can hear them breathing. So then I deflate the tube and I listen and I hear them breathing. So then I snap the thing and I take it out. And only once the patient is on the bed, like transferred from the OR bed to the bed that we're gonna take them to post-op in, does he actually stand up and start walking with me. But I'm pushing the bed again. Just to do all of that from beginning to end like that just felt incredible. Obviously he was still there and helping coach me by telling me what to do, but just for him to kind of sit back and not actually put his hand in and expect me to know how to do it, and then to actually be able to do most of it was very gratifying. Insane to me to think about that and see how much I can just pick up and learn over the course of a month. And just at the end, he was being silly, but when I extubated the patient, I put it in a nasal airway. And when I did it first try, like it just slipped perfectly in. And he goes, "Wow, first try? You're gonna be bored when you get to residency." But alas, that's the end of my anesthesia rotation. So stay tuned because psych starts on Monday.